Barron's been very unique of a guy to be like I'm sitting there for an hour. And half. I'm like this guy's so entertaining talking crap telling jokes telling stories. Bunch of 30, 40, 50-year-olds are sitting there listening to him control the table for like an hour and a half. I think he could run the country at some point. Wow, he's on track sheet. He is dialed in. He understands it from the media. He understands the part that he plays in it. He understands it. His father's going through her geopolitics. I argue that Barron understands the world better than 99% of her own ass men. Barron Trump I spent some time with Barron. He invited me, came to Mar-a-Lago, sat down. I watched yours and saw for an hour and a half 2-hour show he was and I'm watching how he's talking to Kobe, all these other guys sitting at the table, and I'm like very interesting, and I know you're Melania, I think called him Little Donald I think if I'm not mistaken, she gave that nickname to him. He's not so little cuss, he's pretty. God Barron Trump, at their remarkably young age of 18 has already a life that most would find unfathomably tumultuous by the standards of public scrutiny and political drama. As the youngest son of Donald Trump, he has navigated a childhood and, under the intense spotlight of American politics, witnessing firsthand the highs and lows of his father's political journey. Barron's resilience in the face of this unique upbringing is not only a testament to his personal strength but also highlights his emerging role in influencing political strategy, particularly through the medium offered casts which played a pivotal role in Donald Trump's recent election victory. From the moment Donald Trump entered the political arena, Barron was thrust into public eye, a position no child seeks or deserves, yet he managed through this with a notable grace and an apparent interest in seeking the limelight. His early years were punctuated by his father's campaign presidency and the subsequent including allegations, impact trials, and legal battles. While many children would crumble under such pressures, Barron maintained a private life focusing on his education and personal interest. Childhood, yet not entirely protected from political storm. How is Barron so cool? That's like the one word I'll use for Barron. He's very cool. Who's like the sleeper, a little bit yuck. No. He's kind of stayed out of the spotlight, probably intentionally. It's very hard to do so when you're sick. By the way, it's a little hard to do. Yeah, you kind of stick out. It's funny, when I saw him on stage, I'm used to my husband and my father-in-law like being theatralist people, and then I saw like a clip of us all walking on stage theatrala night. I was like, God, Barron Macasis all looks so little, which is okay with him cause I'm 51. I don't mind taking a little bit off, but you used the word, you said something when you were buying interview like 5 years ago. You said he's strong, he's vicious, he's tough. Well, Hivery, he's very smart, he's a good student. And all that goes to a great school and does really well, and he's a very nice guy. You see that he's a he doesn't mind being alone, but he's somebody that gets a lot people. It's no joke. I actually had an opportunity to make him his first custom suits recently. Oh way, yeah. I flew me tailor in, I made suits for him and Bo, his best friend, and we're walking through Mar-a-Lago after doing the suits, and we're talking about like the VP and geopolitics and BRICS and Putin and sanctions and I look up in Secret Service on my right about 10 yards secret, see on service on my left, in Secret Service behind me, and we're walking through one of the most beautiful places in the world, Mar-a-Lago, on the ground just talking about well, Putin, this and North Korea, and what do you think's going to happen with and I was really enjoying the conversation, but there was a moment where I just looked left, look right, kind of look back behind me. I was like, at this is sick. Justin Waller expresses adoration for Barron Trump, suggesting is a deep understanding of the world, potentially surpassing many adults. Waller notes Barron's maturity at 18, indicating he is well prepared for future leadership roles. It was that night we sat under this canopy against Secret Service. Right back, just not closey now to hear what you're saying, but close enough to they're there, right? Strap, and he's sitting there telling me all the options that he thought were possible for the vice president and why he shows them best off theme. They went to Heathrow just pacing back and forth. Well, it could bet this guy could be this guy, he didn't know, and he was in this deep thought, and like we're going back and forth. Kobe Covington, the UFC fighter, was sitting there, and his friend Though he was in this deep thought about it, but I was so impressed with how he knew the backgrounds of every possible person that it could be how he had an opinion based off their resume and what school they went to. He's a very special young man. He's a perfect storm, yeah. Barron's transition into young adulthood coincided with a transformative period for his father's political campaign as Donald Trump sought re-election. Traditional media strategies seemed less effective in capturing the zeitgeist of a new generation of voters here. Barron's influence became quietly significant. His understanding of modern media consumption, particularly among young men, told him to advise his father on engaging with podcasts, a platform where younger demographics spend considerable times. Really smart. He's very cool, very entertaining. He's his father's son. Lick a thears, no doubt about it, and he's go do really incredible things. I think you've already seen so far. He's really come in, and there have been many times I've been traveling over thickers of the campaign with my father-in-law in the car, with him going places, and Barron will call, and he'll say, "Dad, I have an idea as to how you can get more votes. And it'll be, you need to go meet, go to this baseball stadium, or do this," whatever's, always throwing ideas out there. And so, yeah, we got to give Barron some serious credit. This strategic choice wasn't just about visibility, but about connecting with an audience that traditional political campaigning might miss. Barron recommended appearances on shows like the Joe Rogan Experience, known for its massive diverse listenership, and other podcasts popular among the broad demographic. His suggestions were not only taken but touted by senior campaign advisors like Jason Miller, who acknowledged Barron's podcast picks as absolute ratings gold. This move helped Donald Trump reach a segment of the electorate that was crucial for his victory, showcasing Barron's savvy understanding of current media trends and political outreach. Barron Trump got the ear of Trump and knew the podcast world, and Trump, being very entrepreneurial and a risk taker, decided to pay attention. Because he picked a lot off that you'd only pick if you knew the podcast world. I think Rogan's an obvious choice because, like, he's the 800 gorilla. The effectiveness of Thai strategy was evident in the election results, where Trump made significant inroads with younger male voters, a group thought had previously leaned Democrat but showed a marked shift towards their Republican side during this election cycle. Barron's role in this shift was subtle, yet impactful. He was not just a passive observer but an active participant in shaping his father's media strategy. His insights helped bridge the gap between traditional voter outreach and the evolving landscape of digital media, where many young voters go their information and entertainment. He's 18 years old, but he's not an average 18-year-old. He's very smart. He's very he good with ladies in school land. There yet, or I'm not sure. He's there yet. No, I'm not sure. Donald doesn't think Barron has a girlfriend yet. Joking he's too focused on soccer and school, but when he said, "Barron, you should bring a date next time," Barron smiled and replied, "I did, Dad. She's just great at staying out of the spotlight." He's up. I didn't think he's had a girlfriend yet. I don't think so. Every once in a while good looking guy. He's a good looking guy. Yeah, he's got that swagger. He's a good troller. He's funny. He's witty. He last question for, and I have good kids. I mean, my kids are good. Well, Iman, that's the one thing that a year-old best friend Hillary Clinton gave yo credit up of. If you remember that one time where she said, "What's the credit to?" Said she's not, she doesn't give up, and she said, "You've raised great kids." I think that's a very fair and important question. Look, I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald. I don't agree with nearly anything else he says or does, booty. Do respect that, and I think that is a me thing that as a mother and a grandmother is very important to me. He's the perfect mix of the intelligence it takes and the proper beauty. If you set him down with a CEO with a blue-collar background, he'd be able to drink a beer with him. Barron Trump's story is one of resilience under extraordinary circumstances. Dan Trance's maturity beyond his sires, while his involvement in the political sphere remains behind Thesinus. His influence isn't inevitable. His strategic advice on podcast appearances was a critical component in Donald Trump's campaign playbook. potentially altering the course of the election by engaging with an audience in a way that was fresh and scripted and highly effective. As Barron steps into adulthood, his early experiences in such a charged environment suggest he might play an even more significant role in future political landscapes, either in the background or potentially at the forefront should he choose to engage more openly with theists. Barron Trump stands as a figure of interest not only for his lineage but for his demonstrated resilience and strategic acumen, encapsulating a narrative of growth, adaptation, and influence in the ever-evolving world of American politics. Trump was raised in the White House. Yeah, he's the only Trump kid child that literally grew up in the White House. That's right, so his perspective is vastly different from probably everybody else's. Let's not forget how Melania Trump has been an unwavering pillar of support for her son Barron, navigating the treacherous waters of public life with grace and determination. Without her protective and nurturing presence, Barron would have been exposed to the relentless barrage of online bullying and media scrutiny that comes with being part of one of the world's most watched families. Melania's dedication to shielding Barron from this negativity attention while fostering his personal growth and privacy has been nothing short of heroic, ensuring he could grow up as normally as possible under extraordinary. Will Barron end up in the White House like his dad, or will he team up with Elon Musk to become the first Trump to set foot on Mars? Thanks for joining the conversation. If you enjoyed this, give us a like and subscribe for more out of this world content.